leadership bullying in the workplace, what I'm calling the silent pandemic. And I called out how it's evolved. Leadership bullying has evolved. We used to see it as the leader shouting and screaming, jumping up and down, demanding something happen, shaming somebody, calling names. But it's evolved to something much more subtle and systemic. And I talked about the dangerous situations it can result in. And I used two examples at the beginning of this week from Australia in the Coroner's Court and Dubbo Council, whose bullying led to people taking their own lives. And both parties found guilty of that. And I talked about two types of bullying. Policy-driven, where leaders are using policies that are being put in place as weapons to threaten and coerce and bully workers into doing what they want them to do. And the prime example right now is the return to office mandates. Thou shalt come into the office 2 days a week. Thou shalt come into the office 50% of your time. And I quoted a couple of the banks who have been doing this. I talked about Westpac, who were taken to court or to the Fair Work Tribunal for demanding Carleen Chandler come back into the office 2 days a week. It was thrown out. They didn't have any business case to request her to be in the office 2 days a week. And ANZ, who have a tier system that if you're not in the office 50% of your time, then you either lose your pay rise or you lose your bonus or part thereof. That to me is coercion, and that is bullying. And I also talked about digital bullying, where leaders can't see the impact they're having, so they get away with it and they don't see the consequences. We talked about surveillance and demanding people are always on and expecting them to be there. These are people who are working remotely. The green light always has to be on, otherwise you will get asked, where were you? Why weren't you available when I wanted you? So in my next newsletter and series of videos, I'm going to talk about some of the other types of leadership bullying that are taking place today.